What is up guys, WWII here and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about the 8 spots in and around Bastogne that you have to visit when you're going to Bastogne or to the Ardennes. And I made this video especially for people who've never been to the Ardennes or to Bastogne. I get a lot of questions from people that are saying like, hey Joe, I'm going to the Ardennes or I'm going to Bastogne. And I think with all of my years of traveling experiences to Bastogne and the Ardennes and other places, I think I can create a good video with 8 sites that you can visit in one day, and that you can explore yourself in an afternoon or in a 6-hour time window. And this is all in and around Bastogne. And to make this easy for you, I created a Google Maps link or a Google Maps thing. I don't really know how to say it, but all you have to do is click the link down in the description, access it on your phone, and you can easily navigate to those locations. So that's it. I did it all for you guys, and let's go to these 8 sites, 8 locations. So the first site that you want to visit is probably the Bastogne main square. It has 3 monuments. One of them is the M4A1 Sherman tank with the nickname Barracuda. Next to it stands a bust of General McAuliffe, the replacing commander of the 101st Airborne Division during the siege of Bastogne. On the other side of the tank is a Liberty road marker, and basically that Liberty Road goes all the way from Normandy to Bastogne. But the M4A1 Sherman tank with the nickname Barracuda has an interesting story because the tank was in action actually during the Battle of the Bulge on December 30th, 10 miles west of Bastogne near the village of Renaud-Mont. Now on that date, the crew under command of Wallace Alexander was taken prisoner because the tank was put out of action by German shellfire, German tanks. The crew was wounded. Wallace Alexander was deadly wounded, and during their captivity, like slowly after being captured, Wallace Alexander died. The crew managed to survive their time as a POW, but still Wallace Alexander died. And the tank itself actually, it was put out of action near a pond and became stuck in the pond after the war. And the field owner was afraid that if the tank was removed, the water would contaminate, because right after the war a massive cleanup started in and around Europe. But, you know, there were tanks and destroyed vehicles everywhere, and this tank also had to be removed, but the owner resisted. And eventually in 1947 he agreed for the tank to be taken away, and the tank was restored by the Belgian army. And they restored everything on the tank and then gave it as a gift to the town of Bastogne, who put it there on the main square named after General McAuliffe, plus the McAuliffe. That is why we can still see it there today. And you can park your car there because there's also a tourist information center and a lot of restaurants, and that makes it the perfect spot for a site to visit for you when you're visiting Bastogne. Now the second site that you have to visit is the MARDASSON Memorial, which was erected in 1950 actually, and it stands for the everlasting relationship between the civilians of Bastogne and the US Army, which stood shoulder to shoulder during the Battle of the Bulge. And what I think is really neat, this is what I really love, is that you can see all the emblems of all American divisions that participated in the Battle of the Bulge. And you know, if you have a relative or if you have a favorite outfit, you can grab a photograph of that unit, because their emblem will be on the monument. And there are also all 48 states at the time, 48 states of America are listed on that monument. So you can grab a picture of your state or whatever if you like doing that. You can also climb to the top of the monument, and this will give you an amazing and beautiful view over the town of Bastogne and the fields surrounding Bastogne. And all you have to do is like imagine what it must have been like for those men with snowy temperatures, cold temperatures and snowy fields. It must have been horrible, but I can guarantee you will enjoy that view on top of the monument. It is huge, but you will enjoy it. And the third site right after the MARDASSON Memorial will be the Easy Company Memorial. The Easy Company from Band of Brothers, 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment. Band of Brothers has been a huge impact on my life, and I think everyone who has seen Band of Brothers probably wants to visit this memorial. This is a must-see. And on the monument you can see like all the names of the men of the 506, well actually of Easy Company, who were killed during the Battle of the Bulge. and it is at such a neat location, a beautiful location when you're visiting that monument, and it's close to locations where Easy Company and the rest of the 506 were dug in during the Battle of the Bulge. Now from there on you want to head over to the fourth site, the BOIS or the JACQUES, and this is the actual location where Easy Company was dug in during the December days, and the rest of the 506, especially 2nd Battalion, was also dug in there. 1st Battalion was in there, 3rd Battalion was in there. Now in the BOIS, in the JACQUES, you can find foxholes. Foxholes, former foxholes of the men of Easy and the men of the 506. Now most of these foxholes have been redug after the war because reenactors have been visiting, and people who just want to go there and dig in the area and say like, hey, foxholes, I want to dig. But still, this is a sacred piece of ground. I think that's it. And seeing those foxholes, seeing the woods, knowing what happened, will add to such a magical sphere environment ambience, and you will appreciate, having visited this site. So definitely go there, and yeah, just, I don't know what to say, but you will have to visit this. Now after that you can go to the center of Foy, and what is really neat about that is that there's a building that shows the traces of war. It shows the impact holes of small arms fire, and basically on this location was the sniper that was harassing Easy Company in Band of Brothers during the capture of Foy on January 13th, 1945. But you can still see that spot, and the sniper was in this building. You can see the small arms fire that has been, you can see the damage from the small arms fire that has been put into that house. At the crossroads itself, you can also take two comparison photographs, like then and now photographs, because there are two pictures that were taken right after the battles. And I think it's really neat to create a then and now comparison and see how over time this town has changed, or actually hasn't changed. That's also what I love doing, and I suggest you should do that. Now right after Foy, you want to head over to the German military cemetery of Recon with 6,807 graves. Now a German military cemetery is much more different than an American military cemetery. It's much grayer, it's so much darker, and compared to the American military cemeteries, which have like one cross, one white cross for one individual, a German military cemetery has like 5 to 6 individuals for one cross, and mostly 3 on each side, and it is crazy. And visiting a German military cemetery will just give you a broader perspective on commemoration of the fallen, commemoration of the dead, of the war dead. And that is why I think you should just see this to also put, as I said, to put the commemoration of the fallen of like the way America does, the United States does, and your own country, the United Kingdom. It will just put it in a much more different perspective. So definitely go here, check it out. It's not far from Foy, and you will appreciate it too. Now right after Recon, not far from there, is the former location of the American military cemetery of Foy. Right after the battles here around Bastogne, Foy had its own military cemetery for American soldiers, and there were 2,701 men in total buried here at one point. And all you can see now today is a memorial and the field where this cemetery was. And most of the men from Easy Company, Band of Brothers, who were killed in this area, and other men of the 101st Airborne were probably buried on this cemetery. And that's why I think it's neat. And after the war, most of these graves were transferred to the bigger cemeteries of Luxembourg, Henry-Chapelle, or the Ardennes. But as you know, because it's so close to the German military cemetery, you don't want to miss out on this. And that is why I think you should see it, and the monument as well. It's a beautiful monument, and it's worth checking out. The last site that you want to visit, yes, we're at the last site already, and I hope it's all fitting in this video. The last site that you want to visit is the location where General Patton's troops broke through the encirclement of Bastogne for the first time on December 26th. Now you have to remember that Bastogne was surrounded for almost a week, from the night of December 21st to the afternoon of December 26th. And basically, C Company of the 37th Tank Battalion of the 4th Armored Division spearheaded here through the lines on that afternoon. And it was a small column led by Lieutenant Bulge, who came down the road from the town of ASSENOIS and drove on the road to Bastogne. And he came across a pillbox and spotted a group of airborne engineers attacking this pillbox. Now, he supported them and made contact with them. And that was the official first contact that was made from outside the Bastogne perimeter to the inside of the perimeter. And in theory, from then on, the encirclement was broken and Bastogne wasn't surrounded anymore. Obviously, it took a few days, a couple of weeks before this was all, really gone. But yeah, this was the first time that Patton spearheaded through the lines of Bastogne. And all you can see today is the pillbox that is still standing there and the small plaque and some shell fire damage that has been done to the bunker or the pillbox. And you can still see that. So I think that's really neat, and it's worth visiting, worth taking some photographs on. And in the distance, you have a pretty view of Bastogne. So yeah, these are 8 sites that you can visit in one day and have to visit in one day. If you want to see more, I suggest you get just a tour guide like my friend Bob Konings, or another good local guide is Reg Jans. These are all great guys that you can hire and spend a day with in and around Bastogne. But yeah, if you want to go by yourself, I hope this video is enough for you. If you want more information, please send me an email. Also follow me on Instagram, JoeDeMadio_WW2. I post a lot of World War II photographs. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, of course, because I'm going to make more videos like this. And I hope you guys will enjoy them. Thanks for watching, salute, and see you next time. Bye-bye.